Welcome, everyone, to another week of Pro League, the second week of Division A, coming off of London. I'm your host, Katie Bedford, joined by Nameless, Pac-Man, and Study. And I want to get right into things. We're going to take a look at our division. We're going to take a look at the standings, because, again, this is the last week for Division A before they head off to Anaheim. And some of these matchups for some of these teams, Nameless, you can see it now. These are the standings. Some are going to be tougher than others.
Yeah, these are some huge matches, right? Like, looking down towards the bottom of the list, we have Luminosity, Reciprocity, UIU. Like, these are teams that are desperately in need of wins, especially with Evil Geniuses and FaZe Clan starting to wrap up their level of play, starting to win some of these games and having good weeks. So, you know, the pressure's on for some of these guys.
That is very true. And now I think we're going to pull up our schedule, because coming up, this will be, first off, a tough match. It seems like it probably will be for Midnight Study, going up against Evil Geniuses. While Midnight did win two series last week, EEG had pretty much a perfect week. Yeah,
Midnight last week, they went 2-1, but EG overall was just a brand new team. We saw Attach hitting that MVP form. Pretty sure he got Astro MVP out of one of those days last week. And then we also see the new pickup in Phantoms. I'm pretty sure they went undefeated in Hardpoint last week, and he had like a 1.7. So if they're able to keep up that consistency, and we also heard Apathy and Trading Shots, he's starting to get into his championship form towards the end of the game. So
yeah, he's feeling more comfortable.
They got to be feeling more confident as an absolute unit, especially with Exotic. This guy's been playing good at all times.
That is true, and you can see it now again. They went undefeated in their Hardpoint. They had a much, much better showing in their controls, Pac-Man, and we've seen it across the board, of course. Phantoms, most of this team stepping up.
Yeah, I mean, they had to have a better performance and control. They didn't win a round before, so then they came out strong.
It was only uphill.
Yeah, from there it's all uphill. They came back strong last week, and I think for this team, this week is super important. They had a good week last week, but this is a week that can define the Evil Geniuses roster for everybody. Because if they come out this week and go 4-0 or 3-1, like, now they're actually a contender. They're not just an improved team. They're a team that can win.
Yeah, and this is definitely a huge win for them as well, because Midnight is above them on the standings, and they're obviously trying to get into that top 4 spot. And, you know, Midnight last week, they had a 2-1 week. They look fantastic against LG. They look okay against UIU. They go to Game 5 and they close it out. But those are the two worst teams in this division at the moment, right? Like, your LG quite possibly had the most underwhelming week of Call of Duty that they've had the entire season, and UIU is clearly a broken team at the moment. So I don't know how much I can take away from Midnight beating those two teams. I think that them going up against Evil Geniuses is their biggest test they've had in this 2-week stint of the Pro League, and this week is going to be their hardest week out of the two. So Midnight have a lot to prove this week as well, and Evil Geniuses need this win to move up in the standings.
Well, I think we heard it from Parasite as well in that hot mic, Nameless, talking about kind of some consistency things, like Blast has his moments, but we need to see more of those moments.
Yeah, so for those middle of the pack teams, like when you have Midnight and you have like Reciprocity and those guys that are sitting at like 5-9 match count, that's what happens. You have inconsistent players, and that leads to inconsistency in your team and in the gameplay, and it translates, and that's how you lose games. So if Midnight can find consistency, which is what every team wants, right? Every team, you want to find consistency in all your players, and then you get that team that can win a championship. So that's what they're striving to get right now, and that's why they're in the middle of the pack.
Well, first, they will have to take down Evil Geniuses. We are ready to get started with our first series of the day with your casters, Merc and Maven.
I'm going to be honest with you. I was really hoping they were going to toss it down to the Blackout World Champions.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
But now, we're excited.
I was like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah.
We're excited for this matchup, though. And, yeah, for these two teams, I think this is just a test for them and for us to kind of know where they stand. Because, yes, we saw them perform well last week, but I think we still have question marks around these two teams. To what Nameless said, you know, you like 2-1 from Midnight, but how impressive were those wins? And for EG, you go 3-0, but 2 weeks back, you get top 16. So are the improvements real, and are they here to stay?
That's sort of what we are trying to figure out today. And this is step one. I think for Midnight, a very tough schedule. I think, you know, what Parasite said, I think a bad week would be 2-2.
I think it's like a good week.
That's a solid week, and I think they need this win. I think EG, they have been playing better, but it's sort of a trap game. I feel like when you go up, you know, you're 3-0. Last week, you're feeling confident. Maybe you don't have that same energy coming into this because you're seeing who's across the other stage. Maybe they underestimate Midnight just a little bit. So I think for EG, continue to show consistency.
And I'm curious to see Apathy. You know, he talked about his improvements, thinking the game is kind of starting to click for him now. He's really starting to get into a rhythm. But the guy I think I'm wondering the most about is if Phantoms can keep it up.
Yep.
Because he was sensational last week. It was somewhere between like a 1.5 and 2.0. He was dropping consistently last week, and we haven't seen that out of a lot of ICRs. Like, that's kind of been in the anomaly, right? Like, we know how good Octane was the most recent event, but we don't see that all that often. So can he keep up that pace That's a question mark for me.
Yeah, and then what happens if he doesn't? Like, who's going to step up? And last week we saw a great amount from Attach. I thought Attach was spectacular in Search and Destroy. But there's other pieces around him. I think Apathy can be a superstar. We know how good Exotic has been, but there you can see, yeah, #1 S&D kitty last week, 1.84 overall. So it just feels like Attach has found sort of his rhythm right now. And I even think on the old EG roster, because when we watched that roster, it was sort of the Attach show. Like, Attach can do what he wants. He has all of these he has all these great tournament performances. He's a world champ. The old EG team didn't have that. So it was sort of, how can Attach play? And maybe they can win a match or two. Now he has a lot of pieces around him to work.
Well, it's just good to have him back. Like,
yeah.
You know, we go half the year with him not really being a point after what happens at the Pro League qualifier. Like, I know there were a lot of players that were like, God, it feels like they deserve to be in. But now he's back in, and this team may be starting to show, finally, what they are capable of. But we'll be kicking things off on Hacienda. It's fast, it's frantic, and this is going to be, I think, a stressful opening map to both squads.
Yeah, and then on the side of Midnight, I think we touch Alana and Blastful quite a bit, and if he can keep up that sort of consistent level. But, you know, for Phantoms, you're going up against Parasite, and he's been a solid ICR throughout the year. And then those subs, like, it just feels like when Lace and Saints go off, this team wins.
Well, on a map like Hacienda, what's the biggest matchup between these two teams for you?
I would go Apathy and Lacefield.
Okay. All right. Well, that'll be the matchup to keep your eyes on. We're watching Saints POV. He's going to end up drop. Several down from either end of things. No one really able to get a foothold into the hard point yet, but now JCap will get in. Phantoms gets 3, and it looks like he's continuing off to the half pace that we saw him on last week.
And I know there's some critics of what I'm going to say, but if you are a aspiring up-and-coming player, you want JCap on your team. Like, this guy just sets you up for success. Yeah, I mean, just look at his event winnings, where he's been. It's the perfect fit for an up-and-coming player. He teaches you to play at a consistent style. And, I mean, yes, he's had some rough placements this year. His stats haven't been the best. But JCap gets you in sort of prime Call of Duty.
You think that's his strongest, maybe, trait? Okay. Well, EG looking to get a hot start after the 3-0 week last week. Let's get to an Astro Gaming listen-in with Evil Geniuses.
I got some on the back. I got two. Go to the back, two in the back. I'm helping the back. Last one shot the back. Last one shot back, right, 3 in the back. Play tight, guys.
Water, Haggis, deep water.
I'll get Z if you want to get water. Turn around, I have it.
One's rock.
Back. Cover Z.
2-0. Come on, rock. Another one rock. Okay, water in front door.
Haggis one shot back.
On the back. One rock. Black car.
I'm going to grab
Black car one tail.
Lambo ahead of you guys.
Haggy downhill.
There's a house on you.
One shot. Nice.
Z.
I gotta reload that.
Nothing Z.
I'm gonna pinch well. Let's hit well. We can hit well.
You guys go well. I got this time. It's fine. He's nice job. Good trade. You see him in the back.
Parasite at the back tree, guys.
I'll repinch. Guys, I don't have a trophy on.
In the back.
You got me in the back.
Yeah, he's go to the back.
In the back.
I'm gonna go to the back.
Yeah, I'll go to the back with you.
Are we pinching all the way around well? You gotta take your time.
Yep. Spawn rock.
Where was he in the back?
He was out. Yo, one shot deep. He's gonna run away.
Dead.
Could be dead.
Use the back.
Hit the back with me.
Yeah, I'll hit the back with you. Close right in, right side.
Yeah, double side. Hey, you're on top. Close.
Outside you.
I'm waiting for you guys. I need help in the back. Got me 2 in the back.
Got me.
He's on me.
Open hall. Not as open hall going desk.
He's out of fence.
On the back, guys. Not as open hall the desk.
I got front. One close, 2 on the fence. 2 on the fence. 1-2. They're double challenging. Yeah, I want you.
I'm still in the back, guys.
Yeah, stay on the back. So you're 2 fence line. Come you, you can stay out.
One fence line.
One of the guy, you.
Top left.
I think one thing that stood out to me over the course of that, I believe it was Phantoms that said, I don't have a trophy on. I'm not sure if he didn't make a class with it, but when we've gone to him, he still doesn't have that equipped. So I'm not sure if that's just a little bit of a blunder in his class creation leading into this. But it may not be a big deal, but down the stretch, if there's no trophy available and there's a big stun, big concussion, big war machine, that could be crucial.
It's just something that, like, you know, someone else may have to switch off a class to make sure they have a trophy. They may not have one. Lacefield, he's on a 5 spree right now, 20 away from streaks, just trying to play his life. As at Midnight, a great hold at fences, now able to break in or at least contest a good amount of time, but Lace is going to get taken down by JCap. And after that, no streaks for him, but Lamagod's going to find it, snaps on the Phantoms, and stays alive.
He's got 7 in a row. Some fancy footwork and shots from Lamagod to get the streaks to work with and maybe push out this lead even more. Challenges JCap at the edge, picks it up before he drops, so the streak will end at 8. But how influential will those streaks be? Lacefield does have his grab slam ready to go. Lacefield has been very impressive in the matches we've watched with him recently, whether it's been with the grab plays, the search and destroy plays, hell, the grappling moves he had on Arsenal and the control. He's been a player to watch as of late, and excited to see what he does over the course of it.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a strong start for EG. I mean, when we went into that listen, they had a bit of a lead, and since then, it's been all Midnight. Now going back to this middle hill, Blastful, he's going to take control of top halls, has the help as Parasite, and well, Parasite's going to get on that hill as Blast is going to use that TAC 5 boost, so good map control right now from Midnight.
Yeah, they've got top halls completely and utterly locked down as they continue to bring the pain to EG. How much time can they actually get out of this with 35 seconds remaining? So far, they've got the control, but need to get back into the hard point, and that's exactly what Parasite's able to do. Just going to lay prone, bide his time, and you can see the ICR on the other side has that trophy available.
Yeah, he has that trophy, and now here's the decision if you're Evil Geniuses. It's 20 seconds left. Do you try to push around for Garage, or do you just try to contest this? And Saints goes on a flank, able to find 3 kills. JCap, the lone man on this side of the map for EG, and you can see he's just trying to stay alive. He's able to play Secret. Doesn't finish the kill on Parasite, actually. Does a great job staying alive, waiting for his teammates as they find 2 kills. Those guys actually spawn out as well. So EG, they have a chance with a 4 versus 3 to break into this hill before the Midnight reinforcements come in. But Lamagod finds 2, Lacefield with another, and you still have those streaks as well. So Midnight, again, they've just really taken off ever since the end of that listening.
Lamagod's on another 4 streak, but Lacefield's the one continuing to win his one-on-one. Another challenge at the edge, gets 2 before he drops. Weakens the push. And Parasite, that's a big one and a tough one as he fights the challenge for Lambo at close range with the ICR. Lacefield gets back in, still has that grab slam, not gonna have to use it yet, and almost takes the gunfight, but Midnight have now pushed out a big lead, up 75, in cruise control, streaks to use. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with Midnight.
I'm up you know.
I got one of them.
We can
Yo, they're spawning. They're already well. One's already well.
We'll connect.
Well, wait, one shot. Well ran.
Yo, go connect.
I have a stun. Yeah, one guy behind me. One corner.
I'm gonna streak. Save.
One in the back. It's one in the back, guys. I got the one guy in the back. They're gonna be in 10.
One's close on us. One's close on us.
There's a guy in 10. There's a guy in 10. There's a guy in 10.
Yo, slow down. Shh. Alright, listen. I'm pulsing. Yeah, one more
Still blocking well. I'm still blocking well.
Top pulse, guys.
Top office. Came out well.
Hit plat. Go plat.
Alright, one top close. There's 2 top close up here. I got one.
I got one weak. I got that guy weak.
Another one here. I got 2. One shot.
Good job. My bad. One's in 10.
He's on the outer fence. We have 3 down. Yo, one's on plat. Watch over plat.
There's 2. Yeah, plat on me. Plat. Slow down. Stop just running around. Let's be aggressive. Yo, I'm going garage. I need help garage.
What's up, office? I'm holding this. Now to go.
Watch a white hall. You can go garage.
Come garage at you.
There's 2 close hall.
What's on new?
They're front office.
On new cap behind him.
I'm
I'm blocking open hall.
What's garage on?
I'm blocking open hall cap. Open hall empty. There's 2 open.
Hold line.
One shot.
I'm going. Top office.
Yo, what's up open?
Yo, they can be on both sides, guys. Joe, what do you think of Parasite a couple times during that listen and just telling everybody to slow it down?
I think the first one was fine because I thought it was very hectic, right? And I think what really he's trying to get to is our pushes are very separate. We're staggered. He's like, everybody slow down. Let's make a 5-man push. We have those streaks. He used it with the vision pulse. You can see the second time he said it, maybe some frustration, just like, I don't know if that was the right time to say it, and you heard something from another teammate, but I think the big thing is he's just trying to get these guys on the same page, and you could kind of tell how hectic those comms were. A lot of different, repeating of call-outs, and that's what we discussed when we went to 5 versus 5, how it almost felt like sometimes it was better to have a couple of quiet guys. As Lacefield's able to find 2, they still have this 40-point lead, and he still has this grab slam. But I think for Parasite, just a show of his leadership and what he brings to a team. as EG, they're trying to fight their way back.
They had a big comeback last week, down 140 or something on Arsenal when they were able to bring it back. Not near that deficit now to work with, but they've certainly made a surge. The lead was as big as 70 to 80 for Midnight. Now within 30 points. It's going to be Tempest out. And we'll see what they can get behind the Tempest. Llama God still trying to make the plays. Teammate drops in front, kind of splits between two players. I think the aim assist might hinder him a bit with one flying across. Can't tag the shot, and he'll end up falling.
Yeah, that auto aim try by Attach, and then Attach is able to find 2 kills. Top Pulse still very much controlled by Saints. Has done a wonderful job, I think, on this kill, particularly with that SOG. But he's going to run into that ICR, and well, EG, they were down 40, now just down 15. They have early rotation in the garage. You see Exotic and JCap set up with Apathy up top as well.
And take a look at the top right. When you talk about EG, you have everything available but your War Machine. You are lit up. Vision Pulse is going to be out from Phantom, so this is a chance for EG to make a play and maybe take the lead. They're using it in rotation to next and to find this early time, but with the Vision Pulse pop, 3 are going to end up dropping. Your Vision player falls as well. Everything goes to hell, and Midnight gets a massive break. How does that happen when you have your Vision Pulse up?
I mean, yeah, there was probably some one-on-one gunfights that they should have won when you have that advantage. But I mean, when you talk Vision Pulse, when you're holding a hill, the enemy team, for the most part, knows the common setup spots where you're going to be. So for Midnight, it's just do what you normally do to break this setup. But EG, you have to win that. Luckily, though, Apathy, he's going to run on in with the grab slam, fine, too. So they're at least able to break back in, get some of this time, and for the most part, going to tie this game up.
Yeah, but look at everything you use. You use Vision Pulse, Grab Slam, Attack 5. Like, you used 3 out of your 4. And the lead isn't that much. You're bringing it tied. It was, what, 15 points or so when that happened? Yeah. So, yeah, you're bringing it a bit closer, but maybe not as much as you'd like out of 3 of your specialists. Exotic will still have the Tempest. Doesn't look like anything going to be available for Midnight. Some nice shots by Phantoms. As we'll get to Exotic's POV as he
and look at the pinch that EG set up. So those old players from Midnight actually spun out towards that old hill at that garage. So a beautiful break from EG. When you're attacking both sides, plus they had a player connector, they're able to break on through, really stagger the pushes of Midnight. And again, this is another situation where they're going 2-3 at a time right now. And Midnight need to slow it down, get a 5-man push in.
Exotic, a chance to make the play down this stretch, but his head gets ripped off. Attach connects, though, with his cluster. And now Apathy, the next man to go ahead and soar in, but 3 are going to drop for EG. Their lead now up to 20+. The streaks won't come in. Midnight do a solid job to break in, contest this time, and at least start to eat away at this lead a bit, but the lead going to be approximately 10 points as we're going to head over to Rock and look at EG's setup. They've got 2 in water, 4 players set up. Their 5th on hold is going to fall, and now the collapse, the big pinch, the big push from Midnight. This is it.
Exotic able to win the first. You still have the War Machine for Attach. If he has to use it, he's going to invest it right now. We'll see if this catches them off guard. He's able to find one, but Llama comes up from water, but the numbers still go the way of EG. All of Midnight spawning connector, desperation mode, as Lacefield flies on in, and EG gonna take game 1.
And for EG, I mean, you were down 70 to 80 points. Yep. You pull off another great comeback, and really, once they got the lead, they never looked back. Did you see anything that really improved for them maybe over the course of the game, or was it more Midnight falling apart?
Well, I think they just slowed down. Like, if you saw about midway through that game, everyone on the side of Midnight was positive. They were just completely outslaying Evil Geniuses. That's when you had Lacefield, who got closer streaks. Llama God was able to pick those up. The only way you find those is if you're really getting some good holds, you're getting all those kills. So for EG, it just felt like they had to get in a bit of a rhythm.
And do you think this is one of their harder maps to maybe play as a team and to slow it down, just considering how close some of the spawns are to the hardpoint, how fast and frantic it can be? Is this one of the tougher ones?
Yeah, I think so. You sort of spawn so close, and your immediate thought is, oh, I can go. Because what's happening in the hill right now is probably your 1 to 2 teammates who were the last on that push. So you're just thinking, oh, I can go help them, which then you're just creating that 2 to 3 or 3-2 sort of stagger that we saw a couple of times.
All right, well, EG, they get it done yet again. They take the hard point, and now we'll start to focus forward to the search and destroy. But before we get to it, it's Jess. I usually have a chance to talk with either team. She talked to Parasite, I believe, from Midnight. Jess! What did Chris say?
Thank you, Clint. Yeah, that's right. I did catch up with Parasite. Well, he said he's pretty thrilled with how last week went, and it really just shows the team's improvement. And going forward for this week on, he said kind of his focus is, of course, to win matches, but he said if we can't win, we're at least not going to go down easy. We really want to make sure we can put up a fight. For this match versus EG, he said that he feels both teams, EG and Midnight, have been underestimated, but that kind of fuels him. He said that's the main thing that's been fueling me over the years, and I know my team agrees. So let's see how the rest of the series goes. Clint and Joe, back over to you guys.
Let's see if they can use that fuel to maybe make a run here in this series. But for Search and Destroy, we saw the stat heading into this. Attach has been nuts. I think maybe one of the standouts, and I don't even know, I don't know his exact KD statistically for Lacefield, but he's had a lot of plays that have opened up the map for his team as of late.
Yeah, just the way he plays the map. I'm not sure what S&D map we're going to. I forget the map order, but what Lacefield does with his SOG, he finds a lot of openings throughout the map and just tries to really create chaos, find a pick, and force you to get a lot of those rotations. He was doing great things with the SOG, but yeah, I mean, we casted a couple of Midnight matches last week where they just push the pace and they play very quick. Him and Saint sort of roam around the map, and it can be annoying to deal with. But if you can win the one-on-ones, right, if you can slow him down, stop him from doing that, we'll see how Midnight responds to that, because that's your first guy in. He's the guy that's opening. If he can't find a pick within the first 30 seconds, what's the strategy on the map?
Let's see if he can continue what we saw from last week, but you gotta love what you're seeing from EG and Hardpoint, just that ability to stay alive, stay in games, then make the late surge as they begin to adapt to, over the course of the Hardpoint, just some sensational comebacks in the past couple of weeks.
And you know, I don't think anyone's underestimating these teams, right? It's sort of what Parasite's talking about. We know these teams have talent, but you can't sort of just look at results and say, oh no, that was a fluke. Like, they got last, like, at London. These teams did not play well. Midnight, we knew they were getting better. Well, they had to go to London with a sub. Like, we saw bits of improvement at the cross-divisional, but because London happened, I wouldn't say we forgot about it, but we knew they were getting better. We just haven't seen it at a big event yet. So I think for Midnight and EG, we're just watching them improve, you know, match by match.
And this last week is huge because Division B comes in next week. We have them for 2 weeks, and then we have Anaheim. This is massive for them. Yes, there's going to be some scrim coming in, but it's not the same as playing in this LAN environment against some of the top teams in the world. You need to go out on a strong foot, because if you think about the last two major events, I picked the two teams that I thought ended the hottest. When I picked LG, I thought they looked like the hottest team in that final week. Yeah, they got smoked the first week, but they looked very good to me in the second week. 100 Thieves looked incredible to close out their final week. Yep. It's not just random that these teams that end hot end up having a great event. And I know there's a little bit of downtime. We have a couple of weeks, but still, you need that momentum. You need to be playing strong in your final matches going towards.
Well, I think when you sort of have 2 weeks here, your thought is constant improvement, and when you're getting wins on the board, that trust, that confidence in one another. You know, I think Parasite and Apathy were talking about its sort of decisiveness on the map on hot mic, sort of making sure you're always making the right decision, or at least what you think is the right decision. You're going to make those when you're winning, right? When you start to second guess yourself, when you start losing maps and losing matches. So I just think it just comes into that. I mean, yeah, when you win some matches, you're going to gain some confidence going into that Anaheim tournament.
Well, we started off with Lacefield's POV because he has been a playmaker and Search and Destroy. He's going to have the Paladin out this time through. Almost gets knocked down, but able to heal up and stay up. First pick goes to Parasite, cuts down Attach, 5v4 to Midnight.
Well, there's potentially the rotation. I would say you find that first blood. The second one as well. Islamic God's able to find Exotic. The kills right now going Midnight's way. Apathy gets some bad timing. Islamic God does a great job staying alive, and he finds his third kill of the round. Wow. He had a great map number 1. But now what I want to watch on this defense is how Lace and Saints play. Because you remember, I think it was against UIU when they won like 6-0, and they just ran up elevator. They pushed the flank really quick, so we'll see how they play on this defensive round.
Great round from Lamagod, but it's clean from Midnight. EG gets picked apart, not a single kill on the EG spectrum. Shot of Lamagod. And we'll see if he can keep it going, maybe build towards streaks. But yeah, let's check out what him and Lacefield do in the early going. You can see a change, no Paladin in hand. They give it to Blast when it comes to the defense. Blast giving a shot, and look there, Saints and Lacefield just going in.
Yeah, they're just taking bottom mid control right now because the pressure is here from EG. They're all going to collapse as the trade starts to go down. 3 versus 3 now. Attach able to win that 1 versus 1. They're quickly straight it out, and there's that map positioning from Lacefield, right? He just goes. He finds an open lane, and now for Phantoms, you have to think, does Lacefield push? Is his teammate with him now? Lacefield might have spotted Phantoms. I don't know if he saw that shadow, but he's just going to back up now to his teammate.
Phantoms with 40 seconds and the opportunity to clutch.
Oh, the timing.
It might.
This timing's. Oh, I think he hears one now.
Oh my God!
He hears him.
Brilliant. It might be. Can he catch one and get away? Can he catch one and get away?
It's gonna be tough. Spotted both of them.
There's the first. Now 20 seconds to work with. Bomb down on the other side of the map. He knew Lacefield's position. This is not going to be the easiest to gunfights considering he has the SOG.
Time's against him now.
Lacefield should catch him. Spots him on it. He's going to have the gunfight. Going to have the gunfight, ICR versus SOG, and that's what I was worried about. That's your nightmare situation with those particular guns. Easy pickings for Lacefield.
But that's what we talk about with the confidence from Lacefield, because I feel like a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll sort of drop down, get behind one of those positions, and not realize this player has an ICR, right? Like, he takes that advantage and takes it to him. It was a little bit scary if Phantoms gets that slide off, you know, hits one bullet, hit fire, gets the melee. But Lacefield knows the advantage that he has in the fight, takes it right to him.
Yeah, I like the play from Phantoms too. I mean, 40 seconds, 1v2, you get so much information. Yes, a little bit of luck's on your side in the early going to get in that position, but plays it well, just a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, he's just hoping after he kills Parasite that Lacefield pushes him, all right? Lacefield thinks, oh, you know, I'm going to have the advantage, catches him sprinting.
Lacefield back to the snipe mid-map. Him and Blast will be going back and forth. Last time EG found 0 success on the defensive end. Once again, look at the map pressure immediately. They've got 2 already up in the balcony. They're pushing the back elbow as well, which Phantoms is holding with the ICR. Lacefield trying to put as many shots as he can with the Strife.
He's just trying to stay alive. He's in a spot 1 towards the back. They have a couple of frag grenades. That was attached on the EG side, but Llama just behind the bomb. EG try to retakes it from the elevator. Phantoms was all the way in the back, and somehow it's a 1 versus 2. They both win their gunfights. It's all on the lace.
And Exotic comes in with the shot melee. The defuse they'll leave to Exotic, and EG get a much needed round, and that's a big 2v3 clutch. A couple of big one-on-one gunfights, and suddenly the tables turn within the round.
Yeah, and Exotic was inside that top window around that balcony area the whole time. Like, he had to finesse to just stay alive and find 3 kills, because you're in perfect, you know, we'll see it from his point of view, at least one of the kills, but he's sort of in perfect range for the trades. He knows where these Midnight players are. Yeah, there it was. That second gunfight so important, and he's able to stay alive for a little bit longer.
And then this will be the final one. What a round from Exotic, and much needed at risk of going down 0-3 early in the map 2. They had a chance to win their last offensive round, but fell a little bit short behind the attempted clutch from Phantoms. What do they mix up? Yeah, it looks like they're playing it pretty passive for a pick.
Yeah, once again, you have a lot of people towards B for Midnight, and now they're going to push. They're going to try and take this pressure. Both teams in a backup now, but that's a ton of information for Midnight. And really what this setup tells to me, if you're Midnight, is you're perfectly okay with retaking, right? Because this is the second defensive round in a row where they've played so much around bottom middle and towards the B side, where they're okay retaking A. Blast has to be careful.
Exotic should be very close to streaks after the plant as well. He's got to be just a little over 100 off. Yeah, he's 115 off.
Midnight's got 25 seconds left. Lace,
wow.
No, able to find one. Blast there is with the trade, does take him down. But here we go as Blast finds a 3rd kill of the round. Now it's all onto Attach, can't snap onto the second. But yeah, again, for Midnight, it just seemed like we're going to give up A. We're perfectly fine retaking it.
And that retake didn't start till, what, like 28 seconds on the clock or so. And despite the fact that Blast has 1 team kill, I think, well, honestly, Lacefield's entry was massive, too. Because one, Exotic is working on the streaks. Exotic has a nice angle there, kind of standing by bomb. But Lacefield just rips his face as soon as he flies out top balk. And then Blast does the rest. But that's an example of just those entry gunfights, man. You take him, everything can change. He drops there, more than likely they're not taking that round.
And we talk about these players like Lacefield, you know, TJ for Optic. They have such a high importance throughout these search and destroys and the S&D rounds.
Lace has been great, but Llama, God, he's 7-3. Llama will play window. The rest of the team pushing up towards the B site. Saints is going to get caught. That puts them in an early 4v5, make it a 3v5 as Attach. Able to get 2. Nice shot from Lace, but the trade there instantly. Now all on Llama and Parasite as they're going to take the bomb over towards A.
Yeah, and Attach has continued his stellar search and destroy performance. Right now, JCap and Apathy, 0-8 combined. That does not help.
No.
Win rounds.
No, it does not. Still winnable for Midnight, but such a tough spot. They're going to pick A, and the timing could not be worse. Well, Llama, I don't know how, almost gets the 3rd. Now Parasite goes back to mid-map, and I think he spots him. 30 seconds on the clock to try and clutch the 1v2. Gets a Maddox to work with. Can he get it done?
I spotted him. Yeah, Apathy's just shouldering it right now. Now he knows he has to. He almost catches App. Waiting for the peek. It's a double peek from the EG players. They do a great job, and that's going to be the round for EG. Lamayan made it interesting. Able to find 2 kills around that balcony.
I thought for a second he was a snap and shot melee the 3rd, and I was like, Lord. I thought that timing was horrific. At first when you saw it, like, the second he commits to A, all 3 come out balcony. Oh my God, he's dead.
Yeah.
Surely he's dead. And he gets 2 out of it. Llama's just having one of those maps.
That balcony area has to be one of the hardest places to just deal with players because, you know, you can mantle so fast with Dexterity where it's just up and down so quickly. You know, we see it a lot in Hardpoint, just players able to finesse that area.
Yeah, just this side of the map.
Yeah.
Between that and elevator. I couldn't handle it.
Nope.
Another passive offensive setup from EG. It's like they've been watching the VOD. They know how aggressive Lacefield wants to be. They're trying to bait him in and get the kill, and twice they've almost caught him.
Yeah, and just look at the pressure, but then now they go, right? So, like, they don't see this. Behind the cluster, look at the positioning of Saints. Yeah, he's going to find first blood. It's Saints, Lace with the help of Blastful as well. They're trying to trap them at this B side. Now it's a 4 versus 5. You have top middle control. This is exactly where you want EG to go. It's right into your trap. It's just on Parasite to stay alive.
He's going to get caught, but he's able to assist on the kill before he drops, so they're still going to retain the 4v2. Attach has a cluster to work with. Apathy wins a big one-on-one. But time is dwindling. And they've got to make a play around the objective. They're just going to go ahead and try to stick it. This is on Apathy to cover him. He just tosses a frag out, try to back him up. Not going to be able to finish a kill, and it won't matter because his teammate drops right at the same time. And that's just, time against you have to make a choice.
And that's kind of important because Apathy just throws his nade. Like, he won't have that nade for the next round.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he's thinking, like, I'm getting ready to cook this, hoping they come, and then just kind of panic tosses it at him. Because
just hoping for some good timing.
This kill is kind of what gave them a chance in the round, but it wasn't quite enough.
But again, what's that behind? Just that push from Saints and Lace just towards that elbow area. After they find that.
Any opening they're going.
And it's behind a cluster, so Exotic has to back up. You can't see them push through the smoke, and then Phantoms gets caught.
Apathy's managed to turn things around, but Cap's still struggling. 0-6. He needs to get something going. This time, Lacefield caught as he gets aggressive.
But him and Saints are still, like, they're in their base already, right? They find a kill, and they're out.
And now they're getting the bomb planted at B. 4-on-4 retake situation for EG. Attach, able to stay alive, and then the helps comes in. Nice finesse there around the wall. And they're just gonna go ahead and push. Apathy goes 1 for 1. They funnel on into Exotic. Attach should get there in a second to trade, but he's not even gonna need to as Exotic's able to get both. Parasite now, it's all on you, buddy. And here they come. Spots 1, 20 seconds, a chance to do it, but look at the flock just soaring in him. Surprise, he's in the corner. A bit of difficulty popping up, and he will get caught.
And we saw all of Midnight after they planted that bomb, except for Parasite, back up to Orange base. Their goal right there, to get top mid control. They can see the defuse, and Parasite's just watching them push through. You can see some frustrations right there on Parasite's face. After getting that bomb down, you get all that map control that, you know, Saints and Lacefield were able to find. And I'm sure the discussion is why did we all back up, right? Like, I can see the bomb, I can peek it, there's nobody here. Just seems almost like it was they forced a lot of gunfights and they ended up losing them.
Yeah, that last POV, that just had to be traded by, I believe it was Llama. He's 12-5 though, and this one's so tough to put much on him with the performance he's having.
Very similar push to what we saw from Midnight last round. And they're going to go. There's the 1 versus 2. Llama God, though, at least finds one to make it a 4 versus 4. Lacefield, that's your teammate in Blastful. It was a great shot, I bet, though. And look at this map pressure. We've talked about it from Midnight, but look at where EG is. They just go right down the middle of the map.
It literally felt like somebody got frustrated on EG and said, I'm sick of them coming at us. Let's give them a taste of their own medicine. Change the tempo. And their offense is, I think I've said it, the last 3 offenses were like passive start again. Passive start behind a pick, over and over again trying to bait out Lacefield. This time they were like, screw it. We're
flying.
And completely catches Midnight off guard. But those massive changes in pace, huge in the mid game for the search and destroy. We're tied up 4-4. A chance. EG had, what, the 80-point comeback in the Hardpoint. This would be, what, 2-4 they were down? Attach and Exotic. Well, it's the 2 aggressive players. They catch them, Saints and Lacefield. Now you have a 5v3. Tighten up, play together.
Bombs down as well. Looks like Exotic's able to spot that. Plus, he's 110 away from Streaks on a 5 spree. The other side, Llama's 13-6. Had a great map 1 as well.
He just stunned himself in the face. Oh yeah, he just stunned himself directly in the face.
You always know they're stunned because they want to high-five a wall.
Oh God, oh no, oh no. From a 5v3 now down to a 2 versus 2. The angle just isn't there in time and can't hit the shots. Oh my God, will this fall apart for EG?
Yeah, they just didn't challenge together. It was 1 by 1, just right into the sights. Now JCap, he's here, he gets stunned. He has Phantoms watching over him. Still 20 seconds left, so Midnight can rotate, but it looks like they're just gonna push it. Stun comes in from Parasite. JCap able to find him. All on the Llama now with 10 seconds left, plus he has to plant. And they don't throw the 5v3 away as they clutch the 2 versus 2.
Yeah, I mean, they hit some nice stuns if you're Midnight, but you had the cover there and you had great teamwork. Because the second, JCap gets stunned, Phantoms looks over him to keep him up. Phantoms gets stunned, JCap pops up and get the kill. Just great stuff in the 2v2 to bail each other out of tough spots when the stuns came in.
This was a great play by Blast. Like, just, obviously he hits himself with the stun, but to stay alive in that corner for so long, he forces EG to wide peek and wide piece him right into the sights of his teammates.
Him stunning himself might have baited EG into trying to push that. Like, once the stun does a hit, I think it is stunned himself. Let's try and get the angle, and then they get caught. JCap's turned it around a bit from 0-6 to 3-7 now. And EG 1 round away from stunning Midnight once again and going up 2-0.
That slower play again, though, from EG. But again, it just feels like they're just trying to catch Midnight with how aggressive they play. JCap tries to make a play bottom middle by himself. He's going to get taken down. Apathy now, he's caught. He's trapped. There's a Tempest watching one way. Saints is going to watch him the other way, so man advantage to Midnight. While the rest of EG, you have Attach. I think he's top middle watching across. He is. The rest of his team planting the bomb at B. This is going to be a perfect kill. Finds great timing, forces a 3 versus 3, and now he can make a play.
Exactly. Attach is just, he's the question mark right now. for Midnight. They've got to worry about him flanking, hitting up through mid-map. Well, they catch him. Saints able to call it out. Exotic gets one before he falls, and now it's on Phantoms to try and clutch up. 2 versus 1. Much more manageable, 1 versus 2, sorry, much more manageable than he had last time through, because this time he's the one on defense, but he gets caught from behind. The defuse will be there in time for Midnight, and that'll get us into around 11.
Yeah, it's a great job by Saints to hunt attach down, because he's the playmaker in that situation. Maybe Attach should play that a little differently.
I mean, the longer he stays alive, I feel like the longer you have Midnight second guessing. He's just hoping they've got more focus on the bomb site and maybe the
well, yeah, the other thing is, right, is sort of if he stays alive or takes a long route, then Midnight can push a 3 versus 2 on his teammates.
That's true. Round 11, here we go. See if Lacefield can get an angle to hit a shot. He has a frag available as well. They're not showing anything yet. This will be the peak. Attached just for a second, gets the information. On the other end, there's waiting with Bomb to make a play, but it's a 4-man stack towards the A site. Exotic does have Tempest. That's going to be the only thing available in this round. Will he have a chance to make a play behind it? So what do we have? A stun. You have a couple bits of utility for either end.
In a very slow round, you see Attach and Apathy get a ton of map control bottom mid. They're going to rotate the bomb to B. And look at the positioning of Midnight. You have 3 players stacking A. Attach is going to find that first blood on the Llama God Llama. He's had such a great game, too. He's going to get picked. They have to watch a nade, though. Lacefield's going to find one.
Blast with the pick as well, 4v3. They've got 20 seconds, though. They've got to start going.
And look where Phantoms is. Phantoms is across the map. Tempest is out on one side. Actually, I think his teammate hit him. I think Exotic hit Apathy.
He had to have no other Tempest in the map. They've got to get this planted. They cycle across. Well, time to get it down, but the push is going to be coming in. Is he even going to be able to plant this? Phantoms has to look over and make the play in the 2 versus 3. There's a team kill that actually comes in. Phantoms with the chance to clutch, but he will get caught in Midnight. Get it done in a grueling round 11 to tie us up at 1 apiece. Yeah, I'll be honest, and I got confused for a moment there too. I was like, wait, I thought there was only one. No, earlier with the Tempest, I was like, I thought there was only one specials available. But yeah, I think he hits his teammate as they're all bunched up there at the corner elbow.
I think EG just got a little overzealous there. Like, I think Attach and Apathy found so much map control bottom middle. I don't know if they were worried there was going to be like a 5-man push through the middle or through the flank, but as soon as they got up into the pipes, that's where they got caught by Midnight. Lacefield finds a great nade.
Well, let's take a look at the scuff play of the game now. It's got to be the last round. It goes the distance all the way to around 11. You can see with 20 seconds left on the clock, it's a 4v3 for Midnight. And they're even able to get out of it despite the fact that Exotic hits his teammate with the shot. But Midnight know they can just fly. They just want to try to disrupt this bomb plant. They know if they have to plant. They know they have a 4v2 in that spot as he's trying to get it down. The team kill gives them a chance, but it's not enough for one. Parasite and Saints lock it down. They get the final defuse, and that'll keep them alive in this series, making it all square. But what'd you like from Midnight throughout the course of that game 2?
I mean, they just play their game, don't they? Like, we were talking about it, the way they're just always the aggressor on the map. No matter if they're winning, if they're losing rounds, they're able to take advantage of it. Just feels like they stick to their style. They stick to their guns, and I mean, yeah, it loses them some rounds, but I mean, it wins them the map.
Yeah, I thought EG did a great job trying to change the tempo, trying to bait in that aggression from them, but it wasn't
slowed down, didn't they? Towards the back half, they slowed down.
That's true, but it's 1-1. It's Control up next. We'll be right back.
The Call of Duty World League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official beverage of the CWL. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the CWL. And TCL, America's fastest growing TV brand.
Game Fuel. Level up the game.
So this is going to be an interesting map 3 because we saw Midnight play Arsenal Control, and one of the highlights, if not the highlight, was Lacefield's plays behind the grapple. Now, you can't do it in round 1 because you don't have the grapple ready, but you save the grapple for the starter rounds. He was grappling into lab. He had the, thermal ICR. He got, I think, 2 4-pieces, 1 triple, just getting the timing there in the entry. And he's basically gunning people as they funnel in through that doorway. But everyone saw it. Except for Karma, apparently. Not Mike, but Apathy saw it, who is also on the show. Apathy is the grapple player on the other end of things, and we joked about it on the show. So I'm just curious, like, obviously they're aware this could happen. I'm wondering how they combat that. If Apathy tries to do it themselves or they try to mess with timings, I'm curious what they try to do for that particular play.
You have to get into that site. Like, they have to go. It's not something that, like, you go beat every single offensive round off the break. I think every single team, their goal is to get an ICR to just watch that door. But for the attacking team, you have to trade that kill. It's as simple as that. You can't die, a 3-piece, a 4-piece, a 4-piece.
Well, the problem is
someone slide to a pillar.
They weren't even gun up. He was getting shots on them and they're halfway through the doorway.
Yep. Was
the issue. So do they opt to hit B early? Or does Apathy do the same thing? We don't see Apathy with an ICR in hand very often.
I don't think so.
Probably not. But even when we talked to Karma about it, he's like, I go towards B every time. Like, it's just you haven't seen it out of most teams. Right? So when we watch Lacefield, we're like, wow, well, that works really effective.
Or have we not seen it out of most teams because it's not that effective, right? And it just ended up working out really well for Lacefield. I don't even remember who that was against, but I just
LG. It was LG.
You just can't allow that to happen. Like, you have to trade to kill. Like, I get it. I know it's an ICR funneled into a doorway, but
all right. Well,
we talk about how difficult sliding in the stim mechanic can make ICR's lives. So use it.
Well, none of this is going to matter for round 1 because you won't have the grapple available. But we'll focus that heading into round 2. The big thing will be, well, whether Apathy.
Well, I'm sure he's still going to use a lightweight ICR right off the break to try to get in.
Yeah. But he won't be able to do the grapple play as well. So I'm just curious to see if he goes right back to it or he's like, maybe they've done their research. I'll catch him off guard another way.
Well, it's the mind games, right? If you're Midnight, do you talk about, well, they watched us do this, let's stack B defensively or send one other person over there just to...
How much does that happen with pro teams? How much does that happen?
Yeah, it's sort of just chess back and forth. It's a lot of mind games, or do you have the confidence of, hey, we're not going to allow that to happen. We know how he plays this. Let's just smoke him. And, well, Lacefield, off the start, he's an EOB.
Backs up Phantoms almost immediately. Exotic, though, does get a pick. They may try to bring the pressure here, but 3 are going to get right into A. Someone just got to pick up window because it's Saints coming in on flank, and no one has it. No one has it. J-Cap, that's a big one-on-one because if Saints gets both, you're in trouble with him healing, repopping, and getting a 3rd. So EG will still have control inside of A. But that almost got messy just with no eyes on window.
And we just saw right there, like, attaches, able to just slide at the door. Pop stim, challenges the gunfight, takes down Lacefield. J-Cap, though, if he doesn't find that kill on Saints, I don't think they get A here. I think Saints would have just caused enough. Wasted enough time where his teammates would have got in. They would have at least stopped it from, capturing. Maybe they still give up a tick. But a good job by EG. As they're able to break on through. You can see the lead number 10 Parasite all the way up. So they know they don't have to worry about that side of the map.
Nice read by Blast. He gets pushed by the 3rd, gets caught mid-reload. All square at 22 in the lives department. It's a 4-man hit now heading up towards the artillery guns for EG. They're trying to play behind the positioning that Attach has on the other end. Saints comes sliding out and he's like, oh dear Lord, the entire team is here. So the comms will come in, but look at the other side of the mini-map. It was actually the Blast trying to push through. He gets caught as he tries to make a bit of a flank. Now EG have supreme control basically over everything on the Midnight side.
And Attach is going to find the lightning strike as well. He's going to call it in. Plus with that ping, he's going to call out Parasite, so he gets taken down. He's going to fire the Hellstorm, and they just flood on through the lobby. 2 ticks into B. They just leave Parasite. They took the 5-on-4 on one map. They won the gunfights. Now it's on Midnight to retake it. Looks like they will do so, but not without giving up a couple of streaks and a couple of ticks. And now if you're Attached, you might just invest this, just secure this round, make sure you get an offensive win right off the start.
He would love to just close it out there and save the Hellstorm, but we'll see what he opts to do. The push gets staggered a bit as JCap drops.
Yeah, they're going to try and get lobby control. They're going to try and get lobby control so they can use the Hellstorm backstairs. That's the goal right now for EG.
Just under 60 seconds now to work with. Midnight winning some big ones to give them mid-map control. And Lacefield just playing sneaky inside events. Just trying to hold that hop up as you know EG continues to fight for that inner lab control. But now time really against you if you're EG. You got 30 seconds where you've got to make a play. Can Attach set up a big Hellstorm? Apathy gets the opening kill. Attach follows it up. 5v3 and a chance to get on the site. Here comes the collapse. 2 players left from Midnight. The trades are in. All 5 are going to drop. You only need 1 more bar. You only have 1 player inside, though, as Apathy pushes into lab. The rest start to rotate in. There's a contest for at least a moment, but the kills will come through for EG. That will do. Oh, it won't do it. It won't quite do it. They're somehow just barely able to contest with the final seconds, and now there's 2 players here. They only needed a millimeter more. Can Parasite and Blast do it? Blast now the last one up in a 1v5. Surely too tall a task, but almost. I thought it was done before 1 more slid in.
And EG do a great job, really, in a way we don't see that successful, where they're pushing through guns, they're pushing through lobby, and they win all of those gunfights. And what they do is they split the defense. They force the defense to really just, the guys who are pushed up towards the EG base are basically useless, right? Like, they can't help those players out towards lobby. They just isolate them. The thing is, though, is if EG goes down there, that's when they give up total map positioning. So just great execution from EG in round 1.
I think Attach was the point man, right?
Yeah.
He was pushed up all the way to like the ladder hallway almost, and he's like, let's do it. Well, this is the grapple play. Does Lacefield get the timing? Can he get there and cut them as they're all coming through the doorway? Apathy he grapples in quickly enough that he's at least a challenge there to slide away and slow down that particular push. So I think Apathy did the exact thing on the other side. Make sure you're first in, at least be a disruption.
Again, it could just be one of those things where it was an anomaly against Luminosity, which wouldn't surprise me because we know
the way they've been playing.
They've been playing. Right?
Oh, okay.
Maybe I don't know. It's like we haven't seen that before because I just feel like teams know how to handle it. It seems like a day 1 thing. Like, I'm really gonna catch these guys off because I have the grapple.
What a big lead for EG, and they're really going 29-2 in the lives department. A stalwart defense thus far. JCap and Attach working together on the site. JCap drops, but Attach still with a presence here. And now sub 30 seconds on the clock to work with. He's building towards another lightning strike. Nice shots on the blast, can't slide away. He'll get caught. Exotic tries to soar in for the trade, and he's at least, well, he actually picks up 2 before he falls. So Midnight just have knocked down an opening. They're all coming off a spawn. There's 10 seconds to go. This looks like an EG round.
Yeah, this is a dominant performance right now from EG on defense. Phantoms staying alive. 1 player I think is going to contest, but it's only 1 right now. They have the pinch. Lamayad trying to do the best he can, but another dominant round for Evil Geniuses.
Well, I don't know. Well, round 1 wasn't quite as dominant. That was very dominant.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whatever you say.
I was like, that one, they just smoked them. I looked up. I felt like we were 10 seconds in the round. I looked at the lives 29-22. I was like, okay, well, good start from EG. It's Apathy at the tail end of the round with the best play. Just tucked away in a pocket, making sure he staggers the push. He does just that. And I think everyone's been rooting for this guy to turn it around this year. He's certainly taken a lot of flack from.
Yeah, and I find it funny what he talked about on Hot Mic. He's like, I honestly feel like the last couple of years, he's just been on some bad teams, like where just they haven't. It's not a formula of success. Like, yeah, he could say, you know, I've been putting in more time and this and that, but maybe it's simply he's more comfortable. He knows how to play Call of Duty. He's a 2-time world champion. Well, yeah, he can get better over time, but I do just think some of the times you're not on a team where you have a lot of comfort.
Or you just need a JCat.
Yeah.
Somebody said on Hot, I can't remember if it was Karma or Parasite. Well, this could be a very, very early B finish, but they got at least 2 ticks, did a lot of damage, and Attach still has this Hellstorm from round 1. They were split pushing, so They get the 2 to go at B. 1 tick in at A as well. Nice wall bang from Apathy to make sure Lamagod can't continue to lurk inside events. This looking like it could be a very swift 3-0 in the control. Because once they finish this, just 1 tick needed and you have the Hellstorm to open things up, as long as you can get that back lobby control.
And now we're in a similar position. How does EG retake this or sort of push off of this? JCap, he's going to bait Saints into a 1 versus 2. Great teamwork out of Exotic and JCap, but Lamagod's going to take them both down. Lacefield finds 2 as well.
And that's huge from Llama and Lace. You don't get those kills, you are at risk of pressure on your base early, and now this is an opening for Blast, maybe.
Phantoms finds 2. That's going to give them mid-map, right? So they can at least get inside that A site and push the lobby.
And what a game from Itachi's, 14-6. When does this Hellstorm come into play?
Once they get lobby control. They're trying to get inside right now. See what he can find. It looks like he's waiting for Apathy maybe to make a play. Apathy's going to find Saints, and now they're going to collapse on this player in middle. And actually, with that, he's going to find 2 near the point. He's going to try and slow it down. Doesn't hit his teammate as Exotic wins the gunfight. Now they're on. Plus Tempest out. 1 player inside. Vents, Lacefield. He's going to win that gunfight, but here sets up the grab slam. That player was already down. That's a cruel punishment. And EG so close, as it's just Parasite defending this site. And they should have it.
There's a grapple forwards, might get him in, but not going to be close enough. Clean work in the control from EG. For the most part, they make it look easy. What'd you love about the control gameplay from EG?
Well, it never felt like they allowed Midnight map control, right? Like when we saw EG's defense just right off the break, they were behind those pillars. They forced Midnight to go right through the door, right, that we talked about with Lacefield's play. And what happens is after a push or 2, if your breakoff's not solid, there's 30 seconds left. It's desperation time. You have to 5-man hit through a single door. That's not that effective. So for Evil Geniuses, just right out of the gates, having good breakoffs and their ability to get A with not a lot of pressure.
And it's an impressive win, too, because we just saw Midnight look pretty solid on that particular map and mode just last week. So EG maybe continuing to impress, especially in the respawns. They get 2 respawn victories. Well, what does that tell you about LG?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. I saw your face. I'm like, yeah.
I mean,
no bueno.
We've talked about Midnight turnaround, but I think Nameless did bring it up. Like, they beat the 2 worst teams in the division right now, UIU and LG, record-wise. So how good are they? I mean, we'll see if they can go the distance in this match.
Well, they had to come back in the first Hardpoint. We'll see if they can maybe put themselves in a better position early in this one. But they've had, the nice comeback we saw on Arsenal the other day. We now saw it on Hacienda. This time we'll be heading over to Seaside, which is the comeback map of all comeback maps.
Yeah.
So maybe another one in the books if Midnight can get rocking early. But Midnight desperately trying to push this to the 5th map, because you have what? I think they had Phase, Optic, Reciprocity, EG this week. Like, Midnight's schedule is brutal. So if you lose
this is a big test for them.
You lose this, I mean, a betting man would pick probably 1 and 3 this week, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't know what to expect from Reciprocity, obviously, with Dance coming in. I have no idea what we're going to see there. But
yeah, we'll see. I believe they play Luminosity next. So, for Reciprocity, you're playing with a sub, you're playing with Dens. He's been sitting around. He's been great, though. Very supportive. There's a lot of players who, they're in a sub position. They're just like, they don't really care. But Dens has been very supportive of these guys.
Combination of how Dens handled stepping down and all of the videos they've done from Team Reciprocity has made me a massive Dens fan.
Yeah.
How he handled everything. Some of the quips, it's just funny because on one of their YouTube videos, it was a week or 2 ago when they were doing the cars, they were driving them out in the desert and stuff. He made a joke it'd be terrible if something happened to one of them because I'm a sub and that would put me in the starting lineup. Then 2 weeks later, somebody used in the lineup. It's all right, Dens. All right. Seaside. Here we go. EG looking to close this one out 3-1 to get out to 4-0 in this second leg of Division A. And then for all of you that have been enjoying the Pro League action, we got the action this week, and then God, after that, we have 2 weeks of Division B, then right to Anaheim, crossplay, playoffs, champs.
This is it.
I can't wait for playoffs. And it's I'm excited for Anaheim because Anaheim's it's top 2 event every year, basically. But I'm really excited for Miami. Okay. Kicking things off with Attach. He had a really, really good control. Started off and got the streaks out the get-go, but let's all flood right into the opening hard point.
Yeah, both those Grapple players going to invest that just for the break off. EG with the early control. But with that gunfight from Llama God, that might open things up as Saints is going to find Exotic. The Phantoms. Able to find 2 of the ICR, and, well, it's just chaos right off the rip.
Yeah, it usually is. It usually is here in barrels, and, well, this map is chaos.
I guess one good thing for Midnight, they've already flipped the spawns. You see Lacefield already head over towards this courtyard area. He's going to watch this church push. But Midnight do a good job flipping those spawns. But all of VG are already here. As they start to push through this barrel room.
They've got a 4-on-3. One team kill does come in for EG, but they still have enough of a presence to hold on for now. The spawn a little bit closer for Midnight in the back, so the reinforcements will get here just a tad bit quicker, which means EG need to get the early kills, and Exotic is the one that's able to be the point man and pick it up to turn the tides maybe in EG's favor, but they're winning it from the front right now, and that's everything you can ask for if you're EG, considering where we go for the next hard point.
Yeah, I mean, they have just full control, and even with the back spawns, this is a tough one, because how do you get through here? It's just 2 narrow doorways where EG, they're just constantly going to be pre-firing this, and Midnight, they're just going. They're leaving it up. They know how important next hill is. They don't want to give up 2 hills in a row. I like the play. They're able to catch out Attach. They're going to spawn Attach out on the other side of the map. So Midnight, a cohesive push through. Yes, they give up a lot of time, but this is all just to set up this next hill.
And that's a spot where you give up 30 seconds. So you sure as hell better get a nice hold at Fountain. And that's exactly what they're going to try to do. We'll hop to the KN POV on Parasite. He's holding the outer steps. It's a 4-man push. He's yelling, I need help. Is Llama going to be the next person to scramble in? But as they go one by one, he wisely is going to get away with his life. 2 players not going to push the back. Blast does connect on the spawn. He gets connect on the stun. Does get a ton of information, which will allow Parasite to come off spawn and hold the cross. So far, it's been solid from EG to deal with early pressure.
And I love this play from Blast, because he's just playing for information. I feel like some players in this situation over-challenged, they might go down. He made the call out. He's doing the jump to spot how many players are there. Parasite backs on up. They have the crossfire set up. He never overcommits, never goes down. And, well, it's looking like most of the payoff on that rotation is going to work. They're only down 20 now, but the final 15 do go the way of EG.
I think you take it. You get 45 seconds. You would have loved to get the final 10 to 15, but you do a solid job, especially considering their early drop from Parasite and that 4-man hit. But now into the blender, that is Barrels. JCap can't win the one-on-one fight. The KN picks him up and Attach. A nice cluster to cut down the SOG players for Midnight. Attach then doing it with the nade, doing it with his fist. That's 4 in a row for Attach as he continues the hunt and takes down 5. The clean wipe of Midnight for Attach.
This is what a lot of people have been waiting for. I mean, I was a critic of it. That old phase roster, it was just felt like they needed to separate at times, go their own way, because people wanted to see those individual players flourish. Attach one of them, and he's really shown it on this EG roster.
EG, a very different early going compared to the first hard point. From a big deficit to a big lead in this one. But can they maintain it? The final fight's going down to Barrels. We'll shift focus now over to our first hard point in the second set of rotations. JCap building towards this TAC 5. Frag grenade could be perfect if he hits it on the edge. He does just that. Combines it with a cluster, able to get him at the edge. Attach makes a play on the other end of things. And look how far you now have this pushed out if you're EG.
Yeah, they all win their one-on-ones. Exotic and Attach on both sides of the map. And even where Llamagat is, right, the split spawns are in. Attach is going to give that call out, so Phantoms is going to turn around. Exotic right now just trying to play his life. His melee doesn't go through. Now they have to be a little bit careful, because Midnight basically gets a split push set up that ends up working in their favor because the gunfights go their way.
Yeah, it looks so good for EG after you got the 5 kills, like how far pushed out they were, the amount of map control they had at the hard point, but a nice break from Midnight. That's a big one to just kind of keep them in the hunt within this game. Make sure the lead doesn't push out too strong. Now EG gonna go ahead and use the TAC 5 on rotation to courtyard.
It's a Tempest as well, so a lot invested for EG. I mean, they get a good hold here. They'll be up about 100 points. Really trying to extend this lead. He's just trying to connect with one, able to do so. Not able to chain as the rest of his teammates go down. He has one player there left with him.
He's hitting the shots he needs to, though. Yep. I know they're not chaining, but he's hitting the ones he needs to just keep them at bay and make sure they can't apply too much pressure into the hard point. That flick nowhere close, but he'll get the Maddox back in hand.
The problem is his teammates have gone down. Midnight have just isolated the fights elsewhere and got in. Then his Tempest is going to run out. Attach, invest the War Machine as well. So EG, they use a ton. I thought Apathy might have used the grab slam. None of his bullets connect off that hip fire. Got a bit unlucky there. Still finds the kill, but the spawns do flip for Evil Geniuses with about 12 seconds left.
So last time we saw Midnight with the early fountain control. They did a solid job for the opening 45 seconds. This time it'll be EG, and they have the grab slam. What will Midnight have to break with? You have the Tempest, attach another flurry of kills. Blast is close to the TAC 5. I mean, Blast can get a pick, pop the TAC 5. That could be huge in trying to get in.
Tempest in from Llama. He's able to connect on one. He's going to find Phantoms as well. Finds the Exotic. There's an opening. Spawns are still here, though, for Evil Geniuses. That's a nice frag grenade. Gonna weaken him up. And now he's just waiting for his teammates right into Apathy, though, who connects with two. Guns the third, but Blastful doesn't go down, but that'll help them reset this setup. And there we go. EG find all the kills. And yeah, I mean, that's what we talk about with this hill, right? All the kills come in. Llama uses the Tempest. And still, the reinforcements just so close for Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, Blast was never able to get that one kill to really get him to the TAC 5, which may have assisted. But so far, solid hold from Midnight to Fountain, solid hold from EG, but EG, it's a much bigger point considering the advantage they had going into it. The lead now close to 100 points, looking to close out the series in these final moments. One team kill for EG. They tickled each other a little bit. neither melee hits.
Like a pillow fight.
Yeah. Midnight, if they're going to bring this back, they've got a border on flawless from this point going forward. Now the TAC 5 in from Blast. A split push building with 35 seconds left for EG.
I mean, can they hold on to some of these specialists? Because they have specialist advantage right now. So Saints is going to use the War Machine. He's going to find two. This should help them hold the final 25 seconds. But moving forward, what are you going to have? You're going to have Grab Slam. You're also going to have the Flamethrower, the Purifier on Parasite. Phantoms doesn't have his yet. So can they use these couple of tools to get them right back into the game? Saints is going to find a rotation gunfight on Apathy. That's going to spawn him all the way out. This is exactly what you need. They have an opportunity to get into this hill early on off rotation. Llama wins an individual one-on-one. Here's Blast now. He's going to get inside, but EG just hold on.
Just barely hold on. Now let's see where all the spawns come in for Midnight. They're all over the map right now. They are spawning all over the map. It's like one was towards Fountain, one Barrel, and one backside Church, basically. They're now going to build the next push. Lacefield does have the Grab Slam, which he can opt to use if they need it, but likely not going to. His 3 kills come in from his teammates, and their entry is right back in. These 14 points for EG since they hit 200 have been very scrappy. It has not been easy to pick up anything.
Yeah, but it's a task. Uo finds the openers. Forces Lacefield to use that Grab Slam with 20 seconds left. That could be big. I don't know if Lacefield has to use it there, because you would love that tool to break into this hill. This is where EG, their separation really comes in, is this courtyard hill. Has been so good for them through the first 2.
And it's like not only do Midnight have to contest this or get time, they also have to be able to hold the front and get to Fountain.
Right.
Because they're not going to have any streaks to break this. A Flamethrower is going to do you nothing in that situation to try
and get through. They do end up getting through, plus they have the pinch. Look at Llama got inside barrels. What play can he make? Able to find one. Parasite helps him with the Purifier. This is the setup that they want.
Can they hold? Purifier from Parasite.
Well, what's the decision going to be from EG, right? With 40 seconds left, maybe you give one more push at this. But you're going to be put in a situation where if you all go down, you do not want to spawn out. You can see that arrow, number 9. Yeah, number 9 as well. Just straight up runs away. JCap and Attach try to get in. Do for a little bit to disrupt it.
Can he get streaks? That could be everything for them. If Parasite can get a streak.
Stay on, get the points.
A Lightning could be exactly the tool they need to get through.
Well, if they can find a kill on rotation and spawn this player out, it's not going to happen anymore. Because that player was just holding kill cam, but here we go.
EG looking to make the run. 220 now on the board, 231 for Midnight.
War Machine used by Attach.
Control of the hard point. Parasite desperately need these streaks. This is a chance for it, but Phantoms, good job shouldering and getting away. Tac 5 in for the EG end of things. Parasite desperately still trying to get it. Attach just nukes everybody inside of checkers. Hey, he does get the streak. He is able to get the Lightning, but he is going to drop. We only need 9 more points. He's going to have to try and get this into it. Lightning in. What does he find? This is everything now for Midnight. Somebody's got to contest. 1 kill in. The other kill's onto his teammate. But Phantoms is still here. EG is still here. And they'll close out the hard point. Remain perfect in that mode and get out to 3-1.
What a map from Attach. It just felt like every point that they needed him, he stepped up getting those multi-kills. It was 3 or 4 times where he found 3. Really the momentum shifter for Evil Geniuses, but it was that early lead, right? It was about 100 points midway through the game they were just able to hold on to.
Whew. So EG with a 3-1 victory, now 4-0. 4-0 since last week, and they continue to look impressive, specifically in the hard points. They're able to get it done. I thought the Parasite streak might just be enough, but it only gets, well, really, you split. You get 1 team kill, you find one of the other into things, and it's so tough because if he gets that, when EG need, let's say, 15, 20 more points, maybe it's a little bit easier to make a play. But at that point, you're just full sending into the hard point because I think EG at that time, 8 or 9 points they needed to close out the game. So
and EG might have known as well, right? Like, Parasite's been alive for a while, so they used the Tac 5, and you saw that player on the fountain. Like, he just shoulders it and then just backs away. He doesn't even give him the chance. So maybe they know that he's pretty darn close to those streaks.
And another thing that stood out is Attach, the multi-kills.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times, inside of barrels, he did it multiple times?
Yep.
And the 3 he had in checkers there towards the checker steps to kind of close it out. I mean, that completely shuts down a push and buys EG, 15, 20 seconds that they're able to rack up uncontested. So some brilliant stuff from Attach, and really just EG as a whole continue to impress us step by step.
Yeah, especially in respawns. I still want to see how their Search and Destroy develops over time. I mean, I know last week it was really behind Attach, but you're not going to get a 1.8 out of a player at all times. Like, it's not going to happen. Someone else has to step on up. Yes, it goes to around 11, but we'll see how they can improve moving forward.
Well, who do you think's the guy that maybe needs to be in tandem with him? Because we know JCap hasn't always been maybe the best Search and Destroy player. Who needs to step it up with Attach in that mode?
I thought when they were playing aggressive, Exotic played extremely well. When they played slow, he didn't seem to flourish. So I play behind Exotic a little bit more. We'll see if he can keep it up for EG.
Well, it's another JCap team that is finding success, and we've got JCap on stage with your PlayStation Instant Reaction.
Thank you, Clint. So I know you and I were talking just now about how you were feeling during that match. Can you share that with the audience?
Was feeling good at first. First map, third map were pretty good. The fourth map we were up a lot. You know, felt like we had control, and then all of a sudden we just started spiraling, just lost control of like a few hills. That's how Seaside is. You know, they got some streaks that ultimately didn't hurt us, but could have if we didn't make the plays we needed to at the very end. Luckily, we have that. We've been playing really well in those clutch situations. Did it again there to clutch up at the end, but that map could have been over a lot earlier.
And those clutches, critical situations that you were mentioning, that's another thing that Coach Revan had been talking to me about, and it seems as though you've really improved in making those critical decisions. What really has changed from maybe CWL London to here now in the Pro League?
I mean, London, we were just a new team. You know, we're definitely more comfortable now together than we were there. That's not really an excuse for how we played, because we still played way worse than we were in scrims even, but you know, now we're way more comfortable, and now we got some momentum going on our side. We're 4-0 now since we've been here. So when you're on a roll like this, you know, things just kind of click.
And taking all that into account and just looking ahead to the big matches you have going forward, how are you feeling and what are you predicting for the rest of this week?
I'm feeling good. I mean, I'm definitely hoping to get at least 2 more wins here, and this 6-1. I think nobody would have seen that coming if we can manage that. 7-0 is obviously the goal, but you know, it's Call of Duty. It's very day-to-day. We'll see what happens. But we're shooting for 7-0 still.
All right, thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. Back over to Katie at the desk.
Thank you so much, Jess. And they certainly are on their way to that 7-0, now 4-0, continuing their winning streak from last week. Of course, that is Evil Geniuses taking down Midnight. And the series, Nameless, was fairly back and forth.
Yeah, it was back and forth, but
it wasn't a blowout.
Yeah, it wasn't a blowout. Other than that control, but there was really no doubt in my mind that EG were going to take it down. They just seem a lot better in the respawn. Seem like they have way more teamwork as well. Like the search and destroy, we saw Merc say he wants to see them continue to develop it. I agree with that as well, but I think this is a team that'll figure it out. They have some great search players on their team, and you know, we were talking about people have been saying like maybe Attach can't keep this up. I honestly think he can on this team with these guys that he has around him. I think this is a good system for a player.
He definitely. I played with him in the past, and he would drop double digits in search every single map I played. Yeah. Like legitimately every single map unless we got blown out. He can keep it up. For me, EG looked like a team that now trusts each other because they were down in both map 1 and 2 and brought it all the way back. Map 1, they were down by like 80 or so points, and then they went into a listening with Midnight, and that was when EG started this comeback. Just to be a team that was struggling before and now to be a team that's able to come back when their backs are against the wall, that's impressive.
Another thing about this Evil Geniuses team that's great for them is they're such a good hardpoint team. And I don't think they've lost a hardpoint in all their matches throughout the last
7-0
weeks. So it's like, to be that good at hardpoint, that's the backbone game mode. Every series starts with that. There's 2 of them in each series, and you know, search and destroy will develop over time. That is that game mode that you can learn. So hardpoint being good.
They're almost in a position to lose this last one. I'm happy they didn't overcommit to that second hill because we've seen that happen a lot in the past. A team will overcommit to the last hill instead of just trusting their fountain hold. They decided to give it up and they trust the fountain hold and they end up holding and winning.
Did you see any progress from Midnight Pac-Man or not really?
I mean, Midnight's one of the middle of the pack teams. They didn't play that poorly. They could have won game 1 and they did win game 2. That control game is where they looked to take a step back to me because EG just ran them over in that control. But in that game 4, they could have won it. They just needed to clutch up at the end, but it's hard when you're going into that fountain hill when the other team has full control and you don't have streaks and specialists. But they did a good job coming back. They were down by about 100 points, so that shows some resiliency out of Midnight.
For me, on the side of Midnight, it's just we see the players like Parasite. He's been playing really well recently, and so is his other partner on the team, was Lacefield. He was doing his thing, but one player that needs to step up, who's that superstar that just hasn't really been putting it together for me, that he needs to be having these big performances, is going to be Saints. He's going like even 19 and 22 some maps, but you are a main slayer on this team. They need you to slay in order for you to win these respawn games, and unfortunately, it's not clicking for him right now because Lacefield is obviously doing what he does with the thermal ICR. But just overall, he needs to step it up for me for them to be winning these respawns.
He could be just like still working his way back into the series or into the team because he was not with them for a decent amount of time, right? Due to London.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, if he gets back to that way he was before they ever took that break for London, this team could really be a problem.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring up our schedule because, well, it's one of our shorter days this week. We do have one more series left for you. You can see it on your screen right now. That'll be Reciprocity versus LG. Sure to be very exciting. But we will have to wait a little bit before we get into that series. Of course, if you're just tuning in to today, Evil Geniuses continues their win streak from last week, now 3-1 over Midnight. But coming up, we'll be talking about Reciprocity versus Luminosity.